everyone, and welcome back. I'm just another sim guy. So I am 2 weeks into my iRacing subscription, and I wanted to give you an honest, humble opinion review, what I think so far. I'm going to cover in this video what I think is good, what I think is not so good, give you an overview of my experience with it so far, what I've done, what I've tried, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll have more of an idea of whether or not you should give this a go, or you may even be just more confused. Either way, let's get on with the video. So just setting the foundation here, I'm just a normal sim lover. I've got no vested interest in iRacing. I'm a fan of most things sim. I've had experience of quite a lot of other driving simulators and I really enjoy them. So this is just my opinion based on what I've experienced so far, nothing more, nothing less. So let's start with the good. Okay, so the first thing that was good for me was that I took advantage of a summer offer and got 8 weeks for a little around 13 quid. So that's not bad for an 8-week trial. So I'll take that. Now within this first 2 weeks, exactly 14 days today, I have tried 3 different disciplines. So I'll go through those. I've done sports car, I've done the open wheel formula cars at rookie level, and I've also done the dirt road, which was the trucks. So I'll let you know more about that as we go on. Now in this first 2 weeks I've got my rookie license upgraded to D in both the sports cars and the formula cars, and then last night, the last race I did last night, I got my formula license from D to C. So it's been pretty good. Across everything I've tried, I really like the handling. That's one of the big plus points. The base content is reasonably decent. I won't dip into all of it. I doubt I'll do ovals. So I think what we'll find is people will do some of it, not all of it. But the base content seems reasonably robust. I found it really easy to set up on my wheel. There's an FOV calculator built into the settings. There's all sorts of stuff for triple screens. I think it's got quite a good setup, quite a user-friendly setup. The user interface isn't the best. The overlay is looking a bit dated. It's adequate. I'd say it's adequate, but it's a bit dated. Another really positive point is the populated competitions. I've had good clean racing, no real netcode issues, no car blinking issues, although I am aware that lots of people do, and it's one of the downsides of the sim. The chat, any chat I've heard has been pleasant, non-toxic. Again, I think I've probably been lucky and it's quite a small sample size. I know it can get pretty horrific, as all online communities can at times when someone gets angry. But yeah, really good fun so far. More positives than not, but now I'll just cover some of the stuff that's not quite as good. Well, this is actually quite a small section. Remember, it's only been 2 weeks, so probably still in the honeymoon period, but they're not so good. Well, once I progressed to Class D, I realised that the base content was a little bit sparse, so the only way to progress quicker was to buy stuff, which I'm not going to do. So sometimes I had to wait for the next week to start to use the free content when it came back to a free track, and I know this is going to get worse as the progression continues. Another negative is the amount of time. I think this game, you have to take it reasonably seriously, put some time aside for practice, take some time to learn. You don't just jump in and out, and that's not how you get the best out of it, but that's not what it's supposed to be. There's plenty of games for that, but it can become a bit of a time burglar. Another disadvantage is I found I was outclassed very, very quickly. As soon as I moved into Class D and tried a few races, wow, it's back to the back and it's back to training. So that was interesting. I think the biggest downside, which isn't the game's fault, is that it can just get really addictive, and I can see how it can get really expensive. Console games that we all grew up on tend to chuck cars and tracks at you with regularity. There's always something new, you dip in and out. With this, it wants you to get better, it wants you to learn the tracks, it wants you to spend the time, learn the cars, learn the characteristics. You can't rush it. You learn from the drivers that are ahead of you when you're racing. You learn the competitiveness, the racing safely next to people, and you have to, to learn it properly, you have to put that time in. So I may add to this list over time, but for now, I think that's about it. So before we move on to my conclusions after such a short spell on the game, what else is there? Well, even if you can't progress your license because you don't have the content for the track or the car for that class for that week, you can race rookies to your heart's content. You build up your safety rating regardless in rookies, and you build up your experience, but your iRating also goes up. So that's really good. Some people, I guess, get the base content, never have any desire to progress. Your license won't go up, doesn't matter to you. You can still have loads and loads of fun on the base content. So that's good. You'll still get better, you'll still get experience, you'll get used to the pressure, you'll get used to the consequences. Now the cost is the elephant in the room. Like when you do start going down the rabbit hole of costs, it has to be a long-term investment. You can't just dip in and out. Don't buy cars sort of willy-nilly, use them for a bit, buy another car. That is going to be a very deep hole. So unless you've got really deep pockets, that's not the way to go. I would say never pay the full price for a subscription. Always get it on Black Friday sales, and build it up gradually. So you can buy some content that will last you a couple of months, 3 months, season's 12 weeks. Buy an extra car to last you the 12 weeks. Maybe buy one track. Maybe spend $30 over a 12-week period. $120, $150 a year. That'll probably go down the year after. Is that a lot? Yes. If you get a lot out of it, is it good value? Perhaps. Only you can decide, only the individual can decide what they can afford based on their circumstance, how much time they've got to use the simulator, and are they going to get value for money out of it. Don't forget, there's going to be offers, not so much on the content but on the subs, and you can, when you get to the D upwards, you can earn a very small amount back. So they do a race participation. So if you take part in a certain amount of races, I think it's 8 out of the 12 for that season, you can cap out at I think it's $10 iRacing credit back into your account. Helps with the next time the sub comes around. You do that all 4 times a year. You've got $40 towards your subscription. The annual subscription you might get on a Black Friday sale for $100, so that's 40% off the bat. So there are ways to mitigate the cost, but there's no doubt it's expensive. I mean, I play console games as well. I'd probably buy a handful of games during the year, spend 80 quid on Call of Duty. It's an annual cycle, that game's done and gone. iRacing, after many years of putting money into it, you probably find yourself that you basically pay the sub year after year and the occasional new bit of content that might come out once a year for a new car or a new track. But you can get away with keeping the cost down if you look at it as a long-term thing. It's never going to be a short-term cheap option. There are plenty of other games out there for that. So if you made it this far, please put verdict in the comments and also let me know what you think of iRacing. Anyway, before I let you know what I think the next couple of weeks holds for me in this trial, I'm going to give you my verdict, and I think there's more positive than negative. I would encourage everyone to give this a go. If you can get it on a cheap offer and you've got decent equipment, you're patient, and you're willing to put a little bit of time in to practice how the sim works, how the game works, etc., I would definitely give it a try. Especially if you're a VR user, it's really well optimized for VR and really easy to set up, and there's plenty of guides around. And also give me a shout if you need me. But yeah, my verdict is give it a shot with a cheap trial and see what you think. So what's next for me? Well, if you want to know where you're going, you got to know where you come from, right? So here's my statistics so far over the last 2 weeks. I've done 20 races, 7 sports car, 9 Formula, 4 in the dirt. So that was only a quick try, and one of those I got taken out right at the beginning. But you'll see on here the average starting position after quali, the average finishing position. Only won the 1 race in dirt. But my incident points, I kept those nice and low as an average across all the races, which I think is really good. And this was also my key focus going into pretty much every race. Now what this meant was the following. So you can see in the middle of this grid here, the Formula license actually progressed to C. So I got out of rookies, got out of class D, and got into C with my last race. And on the sports car side of things, I'm in D, and I've done enough races at D to qualify. And because it's above 3.0, if I wait till the end of the season, it will get progressed and it will get promoted. However, if you get to 4.0, you get an immediate promotion. So I'm going to carry on driving sports car as safely as possible, and I can get my license promoted before the end of the season, which is how I've done it on Formula. I've done it by progressing through and fast tracking it rather than waiting till the end of the season. So my plans really are exactly that. Keep being safe, keep having fun, try and get my iRating up a little bit, and in the next 2 weeks I'll give you all another update. But thanks for sticking with me. I hope it hasn't been too much of a waffle. I hope you found it interesting. Please do let me know in the comments. Do like and sub if you enjoy the content, and leave a comment and let me know what you think of iRacing. I'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks. I've been just another sim guy.